Hello everybody, my name is Koya and I'm from Fort Myers, Florida, and I'm just coming on here today because a lot of y'all been following me and y'all want to know exactly what happened in the story behind the story that I posted on Facebook. So I'm just here to tell y'all exactly what happened and how I was able to deal with all those kids and just everything that happened on my journey. So I'm gonna get in the beginning. First, they was took 2 times. The first time, it was about a week, and the DCF lady told me that I was able to take the kids back to their mom. So I took the kids back to their mom. So the second time they were being removed, I brought the kids to my house, and the DCF people came to my house, and they wanted to look around and make sure that it was livable for the kids to stay. And so I did my drug test, and I signed papers. I did everything that I was supposed to do on my end, and they told me that I would only be able to keep 2 of the kids because my little sisters was living with me at the time. I was 18 years old, and I was raising my two sisters at the time. So they told me that I was only able to get 2 because my household wasn't big enough for all the kids to stay. So I was going with a boy at this time, and his grandma, we all lived in the same complex. His grandmother had took the other 3 kids in for me, and I just want to say thank you, Granny, because without you, they would have been in the system a little faster. So as time went by, they was able to stay together, ride their scooters, be happy together. But as time went by, Granny, she was an older woman. She had breathing problems and stuff, and she wasn't able to care for the kids anymore. So they went into the system. They got split up. Joseph went to Bonita. Joasia went to Cape Coral, and Adarian went to Lehigh. On the weekends, as time went by, I was able to get the kids, but I had to let one of my jobs go because they wanted to know how was I going to care for the kids when I'm working 2 jobs. So I let Wendy's go, and I kept KFC because I've been working at KFC since I was 16. So I kept KFC, and I let Wendy's go, and I was able to get the kids on a weekend, and that was a blessing. I would leave the 2 little ones at home with my sisters, and then I would go get the rest of them individually every Friday from daycare. I used to travel to Cape Coral to go to daycare to get Joasia. I used to meet up with Joseph them at the mall, and then I used to go all the way to Lehigh Publix to get a dairy. Every Friday I got them, and every Friday I went each place to get them, and I brought them to my house. We used to spend time with each other, spend time with the family, and at the beginning, everybody was saying that, they was going to help me, they was going to be there, and in the beginning, that's exactly what happened. Everybody was there for the first couple of months. So as time went by, court dates, home visits, I enrolled them in daycare, in school, well, both of them was in daycare because they was young. The ones that was in school was a Darian, and he was with his foster mother. So I was able to get daycare, food stamps. About a year later, I was able to get related caregiver funds from the state, which I had to put their father and mother on child support, which I did. After that, I met my boyfriend, and I became pregnant, and I was in the middle of me, getting the kids on the weekend, and so I had got a voucher through HUD, my DCF caseworker. She put not a voucher, but she put an application in to housing authority, so I will be able to get a voucher, so I will be able to move into a bigger place by the time I'll be able to bring all the kids home. So that was in place, and by the time that I moved to Lehigh, his mom was already pregnant again. So I took that baby in too after she had it. She had it December 2016. So I took him in too because she kept promising me, that she was gonna get her stuff together. But as we moved to Lehigh, things got rough, I had done lost my car, but I had the Renovan because my car was wrecked. My sister had it was an accident. She wrecked my car, and I had got a Renovan for like 3 or 4 months. So I moved all my stuff from Cypress Court to Lehigh. So that's when I was able to get all the kids. You know, everybody came home. I had got bunk beds. I had got everything for the kids. And so we moved to Lehigh. And once I moved to Lehigh, it got extremely hard. Like, I was still working and stuff and everything. I was pregnant. I was still working, and I was taking care of all the kids. By the time they go to daycare, I go to work. And by the time they get out of daycare, I get off of work. And, hold on, let me get your phone a piece. So that's how I was able to, you know, be able to take work around my schedule and stuff. So by the time I get off of work, I'm going to pick them up from daycare. I already took dinner stuff out for dinner, so I cooked dinner while, you know, they bathing and doing their homework and stuff. So it was a whole lot. I had behavior with Joseph and Adarian. They was misbehaving in school. I used to get called out of work every single day to come pick Adarian up. You know, then Joseph started acting up. I had to send Adarian to a behavior school. Joseph got put in special classes. You know, it was just a lot to deal with. Get down, Zaza. It was a lot. When I say it was a lot, it was a lot. After I moved to Lehigh, it got real hard because people really didn't come out here to help me. You know, I would think that my mom would come out here every day. I thought she would just like move in, you know, to help out, just to help out, you know. But no, it was just me. I even let the mom and dad come and stay the night out here, but you know, they didn't help feed the kids. They didn't help get up and put them on clothes in the morning. They didn't help bathe the kids. They did nothing. They just wanted to be together. No. So after that, they was just cut off from coming out here, because if y'all gonna come out here just to be together and hugged up in their room, then no, that ain't what's going on. I need support, you know. Y'all out here to be with y'all kids, not for me to have to get up and cook for them and clean for them and do everything that I do already by myself. So, you know, that was a no-go. It just got hard. I was literally doing the same thing every single day. We get up in the morning, early in the morning. I take them to daycare. I take them to school. I had to enroll everybody in school. While DCF, you know, my caseworker was still coming in and out, in and out. It was just a lot. Every day I work and I get off and I go get my kids. I come home, I cook, I bathe them, I feed them, and I get them ready for bed. And every day until like 4 or 5 years, we did the same thing over and over. And you know, I'm not a partying girl. I didn't go out. You know, it was just me and my kids. So, it was just a lot. So by the time, all this time, I'm still thinking, you know, she gonna get her kids back. You know, she's gonna do what she got to do to get her kids back. But with her disrespecting the judge, you know, telling the judge off, that wasn't helping her at all. So one day we was at court, and the judge they called us in, and we had already been waiting for like an hour and a half, and they called us in, but they made a mistake and called the wrong people in. So when she was leaving out, you know, she was like, you know, F this, I ain't finna be sitting around here waiting and stuff. So she left. So by the time they called us back in, the judge was like, where's mom? So they sent somebody out there to call her name. She didn't come. So the judge just took her rights away immediately, because how do you leave, you know, when it's about your kids? I know everybody go through stuff, you know, but you don't leave. So her rights was taken away. So the case was still open, because Joseph was still, you know, going through it, because he said he wanted to better himself to get his kids back. So I respect that. So no problem. So as time went on, we had a mediation, and we closed the case on permanent guardianship. And my brother, you know, he just want to get his stuff together and get his kids back. So after a year later, I mean about 2 years later, 2.5 years later, we closed the case. So she got pregnant. So, you know, by the time she had her baby in December, it was ready to open up the case again. So she had him, a case manager, before I can go and take the baby. The case manager had to come and, you know, drug test me and see if I had a big enough place for the kids. And I passed all that. And she wasn't able to take the baby because the baby was having withdrawals. And the baby had to stay in the hospital for about a week. And, you know, so I had to be there to bring the baby home, you know, and I let her be with her baby, you know. I didn't want her to, like, spoil him, but as me, as growing up and knowing that you just had a baby, there's no such thing as spoiling, because you're supposed to love on your baby and hold him and give him that warmth, you know. So I regret, you know, not letting her, you know, spoil him, but I was there spoiling him anyway, so it really didn't matter. So that happened, and I was still pregnant, you know, going to school, not going to school because I was just going to work, you know, doing the same routine, still getting, you know, I would get help from some people, but it wasn't enough help, but I still got through. As you can see today, I'm strong, and I still got all 6 of the kids plus my 2, you know. We're a family of 8, you know, and it was hard. I ain't gonna say it was easy. It was hard. You know, getting up, having to taking them to dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, you know, being to every court date, being to every mediation, being to, like, everything. It was a lot. That was a lot. That mean I had no time for me. No time for me. It was all Mamiana. Like, it was crazy, but I wouldn't change it. I do everything all over again. But I was really getting no help, like no help. They wasn't coming to birthday parties supporting. They didn't bring the gifts, no Christmas gifts. It was sad. It was getting real sad. Like, it was just like they X their kids out their life. The only time they won't hype, you know, is when they post something on social media, you know, talking about their kids, but they ain't really here, and it really used to piss me off, you know, because how y'all all on social media, you know, bragging about y'all kids, but y'all haven't even called them or came by to see them, you know. But as time went by, the case opened, and she told me that she was gonna get her kids back, and she, you know, she was gonna do it, and she promised me before I had my baby, you know, she was gonna do that for me because she wanted her kids back. And I can't believe that I sat there and let that go on for all that time. That was a long time. I went through it, and I just want to say thank you to all my family that did help me. Thank you for helping me with anything that you ever helped me with. But most of the time, it was me standing 10 toes and getting it. And, like, I just kept going. It was a lot. So after time went by, I had my baby. You know, I had a baby girl, Zaza. And by that time, she still hadn't gotten the kids. She still wasn't doing anything. You know, DCF and the Guardian Ad Litem was still in and out. So now they're looking at my baby too. You know, it was just a lot. And I thank God for, you know, my boyfriend, because he came and he stayed, and he's still here today. Like, I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. And I want to thank God for giving me the strength to keep going and just not folding, regardless of how many times I wanted to give them back. No matter how many times I said I wanted to get them back. It was just out of stress because I was not getting any help. And, you know, as a young woman, it should have been, my family really should have been there and helping me. And I know everybody got their own responsibilities, you know, but it was just crazy. I wasn't getting no thank yous. The mom and dad ain't thank me. And since last year, I had posted something on Facebook, and, you know, Like, I don't even get a thank you, like nothing, no support. I don't get nothing. Nobody ever gave me no surprise for having a kid, nothing, just no thankful, nothing. So I just want to say thank God for giving me the strength, but I always knew that, you know, I'm going to make it. I'm going to be a boss, you know. And I had my baby and still doing the same thing, working, getting off, taking care of my kids, feeding my kids, bathing them, still no support. It was times that I didn't have no ride or no car, you know. One time I attempted to walk to take my kids to daycare. But thank God for my mama slash godmama slash cousin, because, you know, she was there a lot, you know. And just coming from a family that's just, you know, I was just that one that was helping. I'm help. I'm a giver. I swear. You know, I used to help everybody in the family. You know, I love them and I do it all over again. I love y'all. But I used to do a lot and I learned a lot. Coming up, I learned a lot, you know. But still, we were still in and out of court because the case had opened for Javon, you know. And then we was just in and out of court. And she still didn't get him back, and the case closed on him. And the same thing with my brother. They just never came back. They just never wanted. They just never showed interest. Nothing. Just on social media, and that was it. It was crazy. It was so many sleepless nights. I was so aggravated. Many times I wanted to quit. I just kept going. I swear, no matter what, I just kept going. I always used to cry, but I looked at my babies and I kept going. And soon after that, I got pregnant again. So I was still working. Now I was going to school, and then trying to finish school. Like, no, this ain't it. You know, I got all these kids, but it ain't finna stop me. So I was working. After I would get off of work, I would take my kids to my mom and Bobby them. And because my school was right across the street, so I just dropped them off. I thank y'all for getting them while I went to school. I signed myself up, I paid, and I went. I learned, and I graduated. And I was so happy that I graduated. It was a blessing. So I graduated before I had my baby. It was a blessing. Blessings, blessings, blessings. It was just a lot. And then I got a better car, you know, for us, a better house. We moved into the house that we in now, like 3 years later, after I got the kids, you know. Case was closed, everything. It was nice. So, we here, you know. I had the baby after I graduated and stuff. I was so happy, y'all. Best day. And I thought just because I went to the Dunbar Community School that I wasn't going to walk the stage. Then people told me that I would get a cap, a gown, and I get to walk the stage. And oh my God, not just a certificate of, you know, you did it, but I actually walked the stage. I was so happy for myself. And I want to thank my mom and, you know, my boyfriend and my godmom and my kids for supporting me, and my sister, most definitely Bobby. Definitely for coming on my special day. It was a lot, but after a while, before I had my baby, I just stopped working because I felt like it was just too much and people didn't want to start, you know, watching my kids. So, you know, I just stopped working, you know, and did what I had to do. I let my job go for about a year now. It's been a whole year that I haven't been working. And, you know, I just know I'm a boss and I can't just be sitting around here not getting no money, you know. And I just trying to make a way for me and my kids. You know, I'm a house, you know, a home mom, you know. I do get money for the kids. You know, I get food stamps and I'm still on Housing Authority. You know, I just want to make a way because this ain't it. This definitely not it. And it was a whole lot. I went through a whole lot. And still to the day, it's the same thing, you know. It's just a lot. And if anybody if you want me to talk about exactly what happened to me in my you know, childhood and how I became so strong and so positive, you know, y'all comment that below and let me know if y'all want me to talk about, you know, my life story. But it was a lot, a lot of going through this alone. It was a lot. And I just want to say I'm proud. And if anybody out there going through the same thing I am, just hold on. And if there's some mamas that just can't get it together, I pray that you make a bond and y'all grow. You grow. My redhead son, he isn't even biologically my nephew, but being that he went in the system with my nieces and nephews, and he was there. I took him on, all thinking, she was going to come back and get her kids, but it didn't happen. And I didn't let him go back to the system just because, she felt at what she was doing, No, I kept him too because, those are my babies. I raised them. Those are mine. They ain't going nowhere. There were days I used to come pick her up to go to court, and she wouldn't get up. Like, she wouldn't even be. So at one point, I had to let my sisters them go live back with my mom and where she was staying at because I couldn't care for them no more because I had to get the other kids, So they had to leave, I was sad, but, it was time to, and later on, I helped them when my sister turned 18. I helped her get her birth certificate, get her stuff, get her application filled out, and I got them right into a place within 2-3 weeks. So I didn't just leave them out there, When they got up an age, I made sure I put them up on their feet, And I want to say I'm proud of y'all right now today, both of them, and I love y'all. And if y'all feel like I left anything out or behind, or if I forgot something, because it's a lot. It's a lot that I went through, and it's a lot that happened. So I can't remember everything right off. I done gave y'all everything that I can, continue to say, because it is a lot to put together. But if I forgot anything or y'all got any questions for me, make sure y'all drop them below. I answer them, no problem, because it's time to be heard. And if y'all feel like y'all want to hear the story of my life, growing up and what happened to me, because I went from living with my mom to living with my aunt to living with my grandparents to living with my dad and to living back with my mom. So I've been a lot of places in my childhood that I don't mind sharing. That makes me the strong person that I am today. I moved out of my mom's house at 15 years old and just been on go from there. So if you guys want to hear about my life story, let me know below. Thank y'all for supporting me.